I'm back. And what am I doing recording on Brambles for this video? Why am I recording on this channel for this video? Well, I just want to talk a little bit about my trip to Japan. Well, not really. I'm going to be doing another video where I'm going to be showing you pictures of what I saw. But there's something that Japan did to me. And it is really going to affect how I'm going to be building in Season 2 of the Saga of Labyrinthum, and I am so excited. But here I am. This village is going to be transformed into a early 20th century Japanese village. I'm going to be researching a lot about the architecture, but of course I've got a couple Japanese builds up here. I've got this. These are both in the same temple complex. Kiyomizu-dera in Kyoto, Japan, which I've never been to. I've been to, of course, the Tokyo area. I lived in the Tokyo area for 11 years. And that is the pagoda. And I love this pagoda. I love how it turned out. This is probably one of my favorite builds ever. But I need to go over to the Saga of Labyrinthum world. I'm going to go into a kind of testing world. And I'm going to show you and talk to you about what is planned. If you know anything about Japan and, well, how everything is built, well, a lot of the terrain can be hilly and mountainous, and it is. And I spent all of my time in Tokyo this time, and I lived all of my time in the Tokyo area. And the area is hilly, and there are mountains in the area as well. And just looking at how they handle the terrain is absolutely inspiring. Because if you were to build a Japanese city here, you know what? They would build everywhere. They would fill this whole thing up. They'd build up in this hill. They wouldn't build down there, but you know what I mean. They would be filling up this whole area, including the area where I'm going to be building in Season 2 of Labyrinthum, and that is right in here. Why in the world would I choose something like this? Well, I wanted to build at the top of a cliff. And I was thinking, I wasn't entirely sure of the style I wanted to do, other than it being fantasy. And that is what I'm doing, of course. I will not be copying the Japanese architectural style. The current style is quite modern, and I'm not interested in building that style for this world because it wouldn't fit. However, what I'm going to be doing is taking the planning style and adapting it to this world. You see, what you would find is, like, take this area, for instance. You would have these fairly narrow houses. They've got small footprints. The lots are slightly bigger than the houses. There's very little space for anything else. Maybe a car. Maybe a tiny, tiny, tiny little garden that's 1 by 2 meters. That's all. That is all they have for most of the places in, especially the heavily populated, highly dense areas like in Tokyo. And rock walls like this, they would be building the house like right up against it, leaving just a small space behind. There are a lot of retaining walls, tons of retaining walls, and I'm going to have to build with those. I'm going to have to include retaining walls, especially over here. This is going to be where a lot of the housing is going to go over here. And it's going to be on multiple levels. We're going to have roads and walkways going in every direction. Lots of stairs, absolutely. And the roads themselves will be more of a gradual incline, of course. Now, I think the more difficult thing to do is to deal with going from down here all the way up here. This is one of the flattest areas in the city. This will have a lot of the major buildings down here in the lower part, and a lot of major buildings up in the upper part, up here. And this is where I'm going to be able to build like more open spaces. I think I'm going to have a plaza in here, have a great big building right at the edge here with kind of a balcony, and that's a great place to spawn. Yeah, so, and we're going to have a gradual descent down this way, you know? Eventually, we're going to have a bridge going across to that island. That it's one island, and that's going to be where my port is going to be. I'm going to be expanding some things and not shrinking, but flattening out some things as well. This is where I'm going to have all the factories with the crafter. That lava's got to go too. I don't think that's going to fit. And we're going to have a whole fishing village-like area down here with rickety old wooden buildings. And a roadway coming up, probably through here, going up into the main part of the city. And this is going to be just an exciting thing. I am so looking forward to building this city, and Japan, especially Tokyo area, even though this is going to be much, much, much smaller, it is a major inspiration for this. And I love the challenge of building on terrain like this. It's going to be difficult. Looks like a spot that I could build something. Yep, definitely. And so I'm curious what the view is going to look like from down in the water, from this side. Just look at that. Look at that. Let's make it daytime. But this doesn't just include this area here. I am going to be pushing back into this valley back here. And just a little spoiler here. This is where the university, yes, I'm going to build a university. It's a small one, though. University, and going over here, this peak. Oh, we've got that, too. This peak is going to have, and I have a sign in here. I put this sign right down here so you can see it. It's a temple tower. There's going to be a temple in here. This is a major temple for the one of the religions of this world. Or not one of the religions. It is the main religion, and that's incredible. So there are multiple gods in this world, and each one has their own temple, and this one is going to be dedicated to one of them. This is a major, I guess, spiritual city, but it's also a trading city. And just having this area here, I might just have part of the city spilling over into this area, but I do intend on having walls surrounding the whole city because of the threat of, all the mobs. We want it to be completely mob-proof within the city. I don't know about you, but I am excited about this. Season 1, I only have like 3 major builds left to do. And is it 3? Got a mine, and it is 2. 2 major builds. Sorry. Just 2 more major builds, and then I do a video in which I am finishing off the village over there with little things that fill it in, like the roads and bridges, a couple of bridges, and adding little bits of life here and there, carts and little patches of flowers and things like that. Just make it look more lived in and like a home, And then this place. This is going to be spectacular. I can't wait. I really can't wait. But just a little bit about what is going to be happening for the rest of the summer, as my oldest daughter is not in school for the next 6.5 weeks. I have that much time to be working on a lot more than I can usually do. Now, you see, since she doesn't really have an early bedtime during summer, I'm going to be able to stream a lot more. I'm going to be live streaming 3 times a week at least. The intention is to go for 3 to 4 hours, 3 times a week, probably Mondays and Thursdays, plus another day, maybe Saturdays. And I'm going to be streaming from, maybe not this world so much, but I will be streaming from Adultscraft and Brambles. We've got, we have to finish the base in Adultscraft because we are changing seasons right away. And I want to get that volcano base, the Pern series base done. And in Brambles, well, Brambles is just an ongoing thing, right? But also my hardcore series, which I'm doing on Twitch. Now, the Twitch hardcore series is different than the one on my YouTube channel. The one that I'm doing on Twitch is a large biomes world, and it's in 1.21. And I'm going to see how far I can get with that one. Now, as far as Season 5 of Adultscraft goes, that is going to be interesting, but because of my trip to Japan, now I was originally going to be doing like a European-style manor, with huge gardens, you know? I think I want to switch that to a Japanese-style mansion, like turn of the century, early 20th century. There's one that I visited. Those places are sprawling. They are huge. They are one floor, but they cover a very, very big area and gardens everywhere. And this is going to be a great opportunity to just try building in a kind of style that I'm finding that I'm enjoying, because at the beginning of this video, I showed you the temple, right? Now, I do really enjoy building Japanese style, and it's going to be fun. Like, of course, I love Japan. I lived there for 11 years, and I'm actually kind of bummed out about being back in Canada right now, because it felt too fast. We were there for 12 days. Technically, we were gone for a week, but, you know, flight times. But we were there for, in the country for 12 days. We didn't do a lot of sightseeing. We went to places like Harajuku, Tokyo Skytree. We didn't go up the tower, but we were there just to see friends and family and things like that. But we didn't really get a chance to do what we wanted to do in the first 2 days. We were supposed to be staying in this house. It was through booking.com. I'm sorry, I'm not plugging them at all, because the place turned out to, I don't know if they're a scam or if they were just not responsive. The place we were supposed to be staying in, they did not give us the information about how to access the house. We did find information on the house saying contact this number to get the for any assistance, like to get information about, like, since we already booked it for 2 nights, we were supposed to have the information about how to get the key. So there's a combination we needed to know, but they did not provide it to us. No matter how many times we contacted them, they just would not respond. We got a refund, of course, but we were supposed to explore Kamakura on the first day, on our first full day in Japan. And this is a city that I used to live in, and I loved it. It's probably my favorite city in Japan. And we were supposed to just walk around exploring it, see the temples and the shrines and all that. I'm just so irritated by what happened. The second day, we were supposed to spend time in Fujisawa, which is where we where my wife and I and my family lived for several years. And we were supposed to go to our old neighborhood and just walk around, go past our old apartment, and just see how things have changed. I mean, we did that last time. We wanted to do it again, but unfortunately, because of this host, the owner of the home, not providing us with the information we needed and not being in contact or not being available to contact at all, we couldn't go in. And the thing about Kamakura is its architecture is older, and I think I would have had so much more inspiration. Even though I've been there so many times, even though I lived in the city, just seeing it with fresh eyes, like very recently, would have given me a lot more inspiration. So I am not happy about how that turned out. But regardless, this city here is going to be so much fun. It's going to be amazing. And yes, I will be preparing the video, sharing all the pictures I've taken, without people, of course, without family. I'm not going to be showing them. But I'll show you the sights that I've seen. And a lot of them are actually street scenery, which is really most of the inspiration I have. Just being able to walk around and see a lot of the stuff that makes the city come alive, you know? That, I think, is one of the most important things when you are planning something like this. Because they really know how to build and make use of small spaces. And that is, I think that is just incredible what they can do. I just love the atmosphere there, and I can't wait to go back. Absolutely. But anyways, the sun's going down. And I think we should say goodbye for now. If you like videos like this and would like to see some more, then please consider subscribing to this channel as well as my main channel. Both are in the end card. And, of course, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.